Hi, I'm Pete Holloway. I'm a retired financial advisor and a retired certified financial planner. And as always, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to On Money. Today we're going to be talking to Courtney Riley. I'm going to describe her a couple times during this interview as a serial entrepreneur. What does that mean? She starts businesses. She's a Wheeling native, graduated from Bridgeport High, and currently her first enterprise was the Luxe Boutique, which is in St. Clairsville, started in 2019, where she carries shoes, jeans, accessories, etc. And she started a new operation in Wheeling called View 42. It's a martini bar located in the Center Market. And I want to thank you for being on with us today and for all the good things you're doing for the community.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, I used the word serial entrepreneur. Tell us, how did you get started, what's gone on to date, and where you'd like to be in a decade?
Sure. It started 2018. I had just turned 29. Every
No,
year.
you gave it away. Okay.
Oh, no. I had just turned 18. We'll take it
There.
And I do a yearly reflection. And I look at...
What does that mean?
So what I look at is the good, the bad that I've gone through. I look at the goals that I had in place, where they stand, where I've progressed in them, where I could do better. And so I just kind of get myself in a place in that new year that I can say, these are points I need to grow. This is how I need to work on things to get to where I'm going. And it just helps me to write it down.
Have you ever thought of teaching a class? And I'm very serious in how to do this.
No.
Well, do it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
next up on the agenda. And so when I did my reflections, I then determined, at 29, that when I looked back 10 years previously, so looking back as a younger 18-year-old me, I would have envisioned myself in a different place by 29, 30. And so when I thought of it like that, I thought, oh no, I need to do better. I need to do a lot better. And so it was then I thought, I was traveling for work at the time and I was making good money. And so you kind of just, I feel like, get into this place where when you're doing good, you really don't think of what better can there be. But I knew that that wasn't my end goal. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and so I developed my business plan for Luxe then in 2018. And when I turned 30 in 2019, another giveaway, I allowed myself the opportunity to formulate the LLC, and Luxe was born in 2019.
And now, how did you do that? You have to find capital.
Yes.
And did you go to other investors? Did you go to the banks? A combination?
Combination.
Okay.
Yes. So I knew that saving money was great, but I also knew to have the business I want to succeed, I needed an outside investor, or a loan. And so with my business plan, I just went to both, and I was writing cold emails, up to a dozen a day to investors from here to New York. Anybody that would listen, I just wrote them, and I sent my business plan. And so finally someone
Stepped up to the
yeah,
plate.
they did. And
Did you write the business plan, or did someone give you a
I
hand?
did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you get your drive?
Honestly, I knew at a young age that, again, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew that I wanted to lead. I wanted to do something great for others. And so I just had that, then it was that driving force. I feel like that's what created that. It was that that want,
So
desire.
it was in you. It wasn't trained
Yeah.
into you.
No.
You had it already. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, now you talked about a decade before, not saying this. Where would you like to be in a decade?
Oh, sure. This is easy for me. What I would love to happen is to one day be the investor to someone else. So in 10 years, I can only hope that I'm sitting at the other end of the table, listening to business plans and choosing, one, and helping someone, facilitate their dream. And I can only imagine how that feels.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
for me, ultimately on that end is to become, an investor. But on the business end is to keep creating. I don't want to stop.
Remember, this is being taped, and it will come back to you in 10 years. So. Now, I have to ask a pretty hard question, which is, as a woman, did you find it difficult, more difficult than, say, had you been a man in approaching the banks and the investors?
Honestly, I've seen it both ways. I think that there was a lot of empowerment and respect from both male and female, but then there was also disrespect from male and female. So I really can't contribute, being a female, anything that got in my way per se.
Mm-hmm.
There were the pros and cons on both sides.
Okay. What is next? Are you allowed to, I'm sure you have several things on your drawing board. Are you allowed to talk about them, or do you want to share anything with us?
Sure, we can elaborate a little bit. Of course, I have something on the drawing board, and what I can say about it is that it will also be in Center Market, and we have started construction, and the hope is that by summer, fall of next year, we will have something else new to the area.
There will be a point where you're going to get overwhelmed by these different businesses. How are you going to determine that point, or will you just know that it's too much?
What I've learned so far, having multiple businesses, is that the people that you put in the places to run those businesses, it matters tremendously. And so I could not be sitting here speaking with you if it were not for the teams that I have in place.
Okay.
And I mean, they've, just stuck true to what we started with, and I mean, they allow me to continue to grow. And so, I can honestly say I'm thankful for them.
Mm-hmm. How do you determine who's going to be on your team? Because right now, obviously, it's very difficult to find employees.
It is.
And you have to find an employee that you could trust if you were to get sick, could run the places.
Yeah, to take my place.
Mm-hmm.
And that is hard, and you have to trust. But you also have to be that leader who allows yourself to be available to your team. And so, I don't want them to not have the tools they need or feel like they can't get to me because, I'm the owner, I'm segregated from them, and that's not it at all. And so they have access to me, and, I do have boundaries as a leader, though. At a certain time in the evening, I do, turn the phone on, vibrate instead of on loud and things like that. But again, they're still able to contact me and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can we speak over the phone, or will you be in, or, whatever the case may be. And then I'm available to them at that point.
Plus, you're setting a good example. I was in your place last Friday, and you were carrying around large tubs of ice, which are not light. And, that's I don't know how else to put it, that's a menial job, but here's the boss doing that kind of thing, and I think it's a great example.
Yeah, you have to get in with your staff, and I think they have to see that. And the best way to train your staff is to walk alongside them, because I feel like what happens is, more so than often, when you start creating more businesses and your time is more limited, it's harder then to walk alongside them to create, the ultimate staff that you want. However, if you have that one person, that manager, and you clone yourself, basically, and that one manager can instill then everything that you wish for equally, no matter how many times it takes, that the third person they've trained is the same as the 30th. And there's no indifferences, and that's the key. And so my relationship with my managers are the most important and critical because they're at the forefront. They're the ones who are ultimately leading, the day-to-day, where behind the scenes I have the meetings and the CPA and, the FA and all of those people. And so I need to be there. And so my manager, being my leader, that's the person who essentially is keeping them all in line.
Now, along the way, as with any business, you're going to have your ups and downs. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little about maybe what your best success was and what caused you the most concern, the biggest failure.
Sure. My greatest success, I can ultimately say, is collectively all of the businesses. Sitting back and watching them develop and grow as a whole. Because if I had to choose one or the other, it's a little hard because I feel like they've all equally been successful, and I can't pull one from the other. So for me, it's just watching it, and that's the greater success for me.
Just riding the success. That's great.
It is. It's awesome, and it's also something to be blessed for. So it's something to be thankful for every day. You wake up and you're like, thank you, for this.
That's great.
And so that's the biggest success, I would think.
Okay, and then something that went the other way, something went south.
Sure. The greatest failure would have been, someone, walking into a partnership and having someone let me down. And I had to then walk away from something I started.
Oh,
Yeah.
all that time is gone.
Yeah. And now
Okay.
we've moved on to bigger things.
This is the first time I've been on this since I think, 2008. We've done this show for quite a long time, and I've never had a prop before.
Really?
And I brought a prop.
Okay, I'm excited.
We're taping this on December 9th, okay? And tonight at View 42, they're having the Ugly Christmas Sweater Contest, and this is my ugly Christmas sweater. Now, what things will you be doing in the future? I know you're looking at maybe a new menu, new drink menu,
Yes.
and maybe, I assume a New Year's Eve, but other special nights. So tell us what's coming up at View 42. And by the way, tell us where it is.
Oh, sure. It's located at 2247 Market Street.
And it used to be the site of, what, Wheeling Brewing?
Wheeling Brewery,
Yeah.
yes, the old Wheeling Brewery
Mhm.
building. But we did a lot of demo and reno, so
Mhm.
we've torn down walls, knocked out ceilings, moved restrooms, added to the bar. It was a lot, but
Mhm.
we made it work. But yeah, we're located in Center Market, and we do have the ugly sweater. Yes.
And you have anything special on New Year's?
Yes, and I'm super excited. So after this, the next big plan is for New Year's Eve. And what we want to do that night is host a 20s theme. So all of the flapper dresses and feathers you can think.
That's just when I was young.
No way.
1920s, but.
But yeah, we're going to keep that momentum. It was created, roaring into the 20s.
Mhm.
And so, we want to do that and just have fun with it, and the Gatsby themed. And so Stages also in downtown Wheeling
Oh, wow.
is a place to go.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for, a costume and you don't want to purchase something and you want to rent one, they can fit you and get you into something. So New Year's Eve, we're planning on that. We'll have a DJ and a ball drop and a champagne toast complimentary. And then going into January, we have...
Should people make reservations? There's a limitation to the number of people that you get in there.
Yes.
Are you looking at that, or?
We are. So currently, we've kind of just tiptoed into reservations
Mhm.
because things went so good on the grand opening that we were so overwhelmed by trying to perfect everything that as people were calling in for reservations, we were like, oh no, we didn't think. That was the one thing that we hadn't perfected or thought of. And so now we have our reservation book and calendar, and we're going to open that up on social media. But you can call in now and
Okay.
reserve that and guarantee your table.
Right, because otherwise there's going to be a line out the door.
Yeah, and during the weekends it seems to happen more so now than often
Mhm.
not. But, we would love to welcome everyone in. I would love to have 200 people in there if I could.
I think
But-
the fire marshal might have
And that's the
something.
problem. I don't think that they would allow it.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes when people get there, we do have to tell them, unfortunately, we're at max capacity.
Mhm.
And I know that some people have said that and they've been upset that they've had to wait, but we have to comply with the law. And
Yeah.
we don't want to, overstimulate those that are in there too.
Mhm.
So it's happened, but, we still have that traffic that you're not waiting too long.
And a new menu, new food menu, new drink menu, or both?
Yeah, a combination.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we've kept basically everything on the food menu as is. One of the things is that we've added the traditional cheeseburger slider because everybody has requested it, and they just
Mhm.
said we need that as a staple. So we do have that. We have a soup of the day now. And so just a few small changes on the food
Mhm.
menu, not much. On the drink menu, we've been working to create a mocktail
Mhm.
menu, which is super exciting. It's been really fun. And now that will be released here next week.
Hmm.
And so we will have mocktails, wine, imports, domestics, liquors, martinis. Yeah.
That's great. One final thing. What advice do you have? Again, you're a serial entrepreneur, and there are people out there who are thinking, I should start this, that, the other kind of company. What advice do you have for that kind of person?
Sure. I think the very first thing is to set your vision.
Mhm.
And after you've done so, look at your demographic and understand that your business model, will it fit where you are demographically located? Because that plays a huge impact on how well you're going to do. And so a lot of people, I think, they get the vision and get excited and kind of forget those crucial steps. And so I would say to start there
Mhm.
and make sure that you have the people who are going to support it. And if you find that your numbers match that, I would proceed then and start looking at locations. And everything is just a step in a process. And Google can be your best friend, but it can also be your worst enemy.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Whenever you get stuck, I know a lot of people, their infamous thing is to go to Google. But, our city, the city of Wheeling, has an informative page, and it has, the front facade programs, it has grants, it has things that it's at your fingertips. So if you just, get on there and you just go into the city of Wheeling and go into their page via Google and, you start to look at what they have available, because there are things available. And not to be intimidated by that either, to actually take advantage of it and to call people, ask questions, write things down, and just start the process. Don't allow something to be of an intimidation that halts you of your dreams. So just take that plunge and go for it.
If one of the entrepreneurs out there were interested, and I know you have nothing else on your plate, but if someone were to call up and say, I'm thinking about starting a tire store, something like that, could they call you and get get some thoughts from you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Courtney Riley at View 42.
Yeah, just
Okay.
absolutely. Stop down, call, set something up. But I would love to, because I like to see, people succeed, and I like to see our community build and grow. So if I can do that or help somebody else do that, 100%, absolutely.
Right. Well, if they succeed, it, in a sense, comes back to you,
Yes.
too.
It does.
So, well, I want to thank you for your time. I wish you the best of luck,
Thank
and maybe
you.
have you back in a couple years and
Yeah.
have a check off all the things you said you were going to
Yes.
do and see how it's turning out. And
Sure.
again, View 42 and the address again?
2247 Market Street, located in Center Market, Wheeling, West Virginia.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank
and I'd like to
you.
thank you all. I'm Pete Holloway. We'll be seeing you next week. I hope you have a great week.
You're taking me back to the sleepless nights, phone calls and candlelights. Those were the things I liked the most. And back when we were passing notes in school, spend our summers by the pool, talking about what we'd be when we're grown. Well, those were the days. You're taking me back. You're taking me back, when the world was smaller and everything was ours. You're taking me back. You're taking me back, when everything moves slower. You're taking me back to better days.
Welcome to West Liberty University and our Fall 2022 commencement celebration. It marks the formal and symbolic completion of years of study. It also begins a new phase of their lives when they will enter into their careers, advanced study, and opportunities that will test their knowledge, their ideas, and their critical thinking skills.
You're taking me back, when the world was smaller and everything was ours. You're taking me back.
It is my belief that everyone on the hilltop has found a home through West Liberty. Being more than an institution of higher learning, West Liberty University is a family united by our roots within different backgrounds, in turn helping us to become our best selves.
Everyone sitting in these seats today can attest that change and growth are not easy. What seems as insurmountable as Mount Everest will look like a molehill if you simply walk the path with grit, adaptability, and passion. You are fully equipped and ready to lead. You were born into a world of challenges and pressure since day one, from 9/11 to COVID-19 to today. And class of 2022, you are the change agents that we've been waiting for.
You're taking me back, when the world was smaller and everything was ours. You're taking me back. You're taking me back, when everything moves better days.
Hi, my name is Oceana Smith. I'm a community arts major at West Liberty University, and today I'm going to show you what it's like to be in my program. So starting off today, we're going to go into my CEP practicum class.
So what I would like us to do today is the creation of a button. So if you had to create your own button reflecting your practicum experience so far, what would it say and why?
Some of the best parts of the program so far have been the friends that I made and the experiences we get to share both on and off of campus. Because it's a growing program, the community arts majors are very close-knit, as well as the entirety of the community education program. So it's great to be sharing these experiences with people that I call friends rather than just a classroom full of students. I would encourage others to consider community arts because you don't have to know what you want your future to look like at first. There is a lot of room to explore and grow in this program in order to find your perfect fit in terms of career path. It's designed to have flexibility and the ability to be tailored to your personal interests. And the coordinating director, Dr. Miriam Roth Douglas, is an amazing educator and passionate about the success of her students. My little pin just says creativity lives everywhere. At my practicum site at the Stifle Center, I've been really pushed to develop my creativity on my own. And then I just put some cute little decorations around it just because I felt like it. Now we're heading into my community empowerment and engagement class.
We'll do a little warm-up, a brainstorm competition regarding some of the things we've worked on in our previous session. I would like to see which group is able to write down the most ideas and concepts in 90 seconds. So.
The community arts program at West Liberty is based on a lot of problem and project-based learning. Rather than standard tests, we get to apply the information we learn in class to problems and projects in the community. Our most recent project has been with Grow Ohio Valley in downtown Wheeling. Their mission is focused around food security and food sovereignty, a problem that Wheeling has been struggling with for a long time. Our job this semester is to come up with possible community projects that can go into the 17th Street building that they recently purchased and are trying to transform it into some kind of community center that will really benefit downtown Wheeling and meet the needs that the Wheeling area has. So now we're in the Arts and Ed Center to work on my scale model project. On campus, we have the Center for Arts and Education. I think it's one of the best resources that we have here at West Liberty. It comes into play a lot in the community arts program, as you can imagine. The Center for Arts and Education is a makerspace that we have here on campus, where you have access to sustainable found materials and creative elements to help craft projects. It's also a great area for creatives to go and work on their passion projects. In one of my CEP classes, we currently have a group project going on. We are working on a scale model for our proposed ideas to go into the 17th Street building at Grow Ohio Valley. For our project, we hope to create a space for locals selling product to connect with graphic designers in order to design and create packaging and branding for their products. And we also want to leave room to work in internship opportunities for West Liberty's VCD program. Now we're at the Stifle Center for Fine Arts for my off-campus practicum in Wheeling. Currently, I am doing my off-campus practicum with the Stifle Fine Arts Center. It is a community art center that acts as a gallery as well as an art hub for local artists. They also offer classes and art workshops to the public but currently they are having their holiday art show and sale, and it was a really great learning experience to be able to be involved in the setup of that. I chose this program because when I came to West Liberty, I didn't really have a clear picture of what I wanted to do, except that I love the arts and I wanted to be in a position where I could surround myself by the arts and other artists. When I finish my degree, I hope to work in some kind of community art center, a gallery, or an art museum, ultimately somewhere that I can continue working on my craft as well. Thanks for checking out the Community Arts Program. For more information, go to our website.
Hi everyone, my name is June Bronlick and I'm one of the students in the BA, BS to BSN program here at West Liberty University, and I'm going to show you what it's like to be a student here. Now we're heading off to evidence-based practice.
What do you do for communication between you and your spa? I know you would never call the doctor or anyone, right?
So the BA, BS to BSN program is designed for students who have already obtained a bachelor's degree, whether that's in the arts or in the sciences, and they're looking to obtain another degree, specifically a bachelor's in nursing. The structure of the program is set up in a way that once you're admitted into the second degree program, you immediately go into what would be considered your junior year. So you're completing your junior year fall and spring with the traditional students. So what's going to make the second degree program different is that your senior year will start in that summer immediately following that junior spring semester, and it's going to be completed in the fall. So you'd be graduating in that December. So obtaining a second degree, a bachelor's degree in science of nursing within a year and a half. And now we're heading off to professional nursing.
So let's look at this. It's the absence of the parasympathetic ganglion cells in the submucosa, okay, right below the mucous membranes.
So to apply to the program, you're going to already need a bachelor's degree, whether that's in the arts or in the sciences, and there are going to be prerequisites that are required to the application process. You're going to need classes in chemistry, microbiology, anatomy and physiology, along with a write-up describing why you want to apply specifically to this nursing program and what's drawing you to be a nurse. Today is my clinical day at WVU Medicine Wheeling Hospital. Clinical is set up in a way that you're going to go into the hospital on a weekly basis, and it's going to coincide with the rotation that you're doing and what you're learning in class, so then you're getting that hands-on experience. We do 4-week rotations in medical surgical, in labor and delivery, in psych, in pediatrics. So not only are we able to get that application that we're learning in class, we are also getting the experience of a variety of different units and different areas of nursing. So I always knew that I wanted to do something in the clinical setting. My first degree was in microbiology, and at that time when I was obtaining that degree, I didn't necessarily know what field that I wanted to go into. And I will say that COVID did play a huge role in my decision, because we saw a lot of these healthcare workers step up and put themselves out there and just ran into this pandemic head on, and I found that to be so altruistic, and I wanted to be part of that in the future to help those who couldn't necessarily help themselves in those moments. So I'm really happy that I decided to pursue nursing, and not only that, I'm unbelievably blessed that West Liberty offered a specific program like this. Thank you for checking out the program with me. For more information, see our website.